Yo, yo, as I'm here reflecting on this past weekend, or actually it was 2 weekends ago, I was at service and it was a great message. The theme this series is based on, it's called Never Been Here Before. And these are some of the keynotes that really resonated with me. But now I'm hitting them today. I'm actually looking back and thinking about it, and it's some great stuff. So I want to share with you guys. Basically, what I got was the theme was learning to trust God for every season of life. Following Jesus requires faith and obedience. As God advances his people, it requires new measures of faith. So every time you're at a new level, new challenges, like you're going to be facing adversity. You're going to be facing things that you never faced before, maybe some things that you've actually, been through before, and you actually got out of them, these situations or these hardships or whatever it may be. And looking back, you don't understand how you got out of them. You know it was God, but when you were in that moment, you didn't know how you're going to get yourself out of. Like me, for myself, just a few months ago, where there was a whole month period where I wasn't getting any income. Like, my income was on hold. I wasn't getting anything. But I never had been there before. I had some money. God has been providing for me, all my bills paid on time, rent, everything. In that specific situation, I never had been there before, and I was like kind of stressing, but at the same time I was walking out on faith, and I knew my God was going to serve, and he was going to always going to come through. So I had to understand that I had to have a new level of faith, a faith that I never had before, because I'd never been there before. But as long as I kept walking in obedience, kept taking the word back to him, and keep speaking to him, and just doing what I was supposed to do, he came through. By the first, rent was paid, all my bills were paid on time. So, whatever you're going through, obviously it's hard to see it through, especially when you're in the moment. Like now, I could look back at certain stuff and be like, wow, you know what? He came through. And that was because of, trusting God in different seasons. Like it doesn't matter what season you're in, whether you're in your winning season or a season that you're not having any wins and you feel like is going opposite for you. And even in those seasons, those are the most important seasons that you got to have your trust in God and have faith in him and understand that he knows exactly where you're at. Even if you feel like he's nowhere to be found, you're seeking him, and he's nowhere to be found, he knows exactly where you're at. Okay, and obviously the focus note, what I got was a new season, new opportunities, new challenges, new faith, greater dependency on God. Right, reflecting on now where I'm at right now today, the recording of this video, I'm like, today was such an eventful day. Like, um, not too much stuff on the business, other stuff, but other personal stuff that was going on. But he was there and he was giving me confirmation. Like today, I woke up and was able to speak to him. I haven't been able to. I have been able. I've been making excuses. But anyways, today, long story short, I got in. I was talking to him, had some good time with him, and later on in the day, everything we were talking about, he's sending me confirmation. He's doing things for me. Like, man, you know what? He's always there. So I'm going to go. Obviously, another one. Um, setback, a loss or progress, a setback, a loss of progress, a defeat of a plan, or a reversal of good fortune, anything that sets you back, and the comeback to regain a former favorable condition or position. You know, so we all go through setbacks. We all go through setbacks. We're always going to go through setbacks, and in those setbacks, it's hard to see it through, right? It's hard to understand, like, man, I'm going to, we see major setback for a major comeback, whatever it is. Like, man, even when I'm in my setback, like, as I'm looking back now, as you could sit back and reflect, you're like, wow, you know what? I really was down. I was down, to my lowest, I would say, but I always had, I was growing in faith, right? I'm growing in faith, right? And I was growing that faith, and, everything that was going on in the physical world didn't seem to align with, like, with the vision that I felt like I knew I had an understanding of. But in the spiritual world, the most important world, God was doing and having my back. And just like he's doing for you, like whatever it is, season you're in, you feel like you're in your setback season, you know what? Stay calm as much as you can, take it up to God, your fear, anxiety, anxiousness, all that good, bad stuff, not good stuff, all that stuff, take it up to him and do what you got to do day by day. and you're going to have that major comeback to regain a formal favorable condition or position. So, once you go through that, on the other side of that is greatness. On the other side is a breakthrough. So just keep pushing, keep striving, and continue to grow in faith. Continue to believe in God and take it back to Him, and He's going to do things that everything that you thought that you wanted Him to do, He's going to do 110 times, 100,000, 100, whatever times more than that. Unbelievable things, and He's going to always leave you in awe. Okay. And the last one that I want to talk about was trusting Him, having faith. And this last message that I'm going to, this Bible verse, it comes from John 16, verse 33. This is the MSG version, and it reads, Jesus, by trusting me, you will be unshakable and assured, deeply at peace. In this world, you will continue to experience difficulties, but take heart, I've conquered the war. But take heart, I've conquered the world. Let me read that one more time. By trusting me, you will be unshakable and assured, deeply at peace. In this world, you will continue to experience difficulties, but take heart, I've conquered the world. So when I read that and when I hear that, he's telling me, like, just to trust Him. Like, when I'm trusting Him, I'm going to be unshakable, unbreakable whenever I walk out my house, whenever I walk out these doors, when I walk into the world. I'm going to be unshakable. I'm going to be unbreakable because I have favor with Him. Wherever I step into, I ask God, wherever I step into, please let me have favor with man because I have favor with you, Lord. God is no respecter of man. Whoever it is that, the people in authority, whatever, even if they talk nasty to me, it doesn't matter who I am, right? I respect everyone, right? Everyone, love thy neighbor, respect the brethren, and honor, the authority that He put in place, whether it's maybe someone that, on across the phone, or the store clerk, or whoever it is that I'm dealing with, treat them with respect, and try to be an encouragement. But nonetheless, like, you're going to be at peace because by trusting in Him, and that He has your back, He's always there for you. So understanding that in this world, you're going to continue to experience difficulty. So He's letting us know, like, it's not going to be, la la land. It's not going to be finding dandy. You're going to experience these difficulties. You're going to be experiencing setbacks, but don't worry, because He's going to be there for you, right? And it doesn't matter what situation it is, like, you feel like, if you take it back to God, He might say, like, it might be unfair, but right, but you got to push through. You got to keep going. Like, He knows what's best for you. And He says, but take heart, I've conquered the world. So he already dealt with this already. He already won. And, like, He conquered this world already. Like, so what we're living in, so this is all His, right? We're created in His image. We're all living in this world. This is all His, so we get to do these things. So, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this last quote that was also in the notes that at the service, and it's from an unknown author. It goes, when it's not God's time, you cannot force it. When it is God's time, you can't stop it, right? So that's a bar, and that's from an unknown author. And it says, when it's not God's time, when it's not God's time, you can't force it. When it is God's time, you can't stop it, right? So when we try to force things and trying to have things in control, like, that's not good. Like, you can't force something. Like, I was like, man, I want to have this business done. I want to have these goals done. I want to have all this. I want to have this. And then when it doesn't happen, like, you get discouraged or whatever, but we want God to move on our timing, and it doesn't work like that. God's never early. He's never late. He's always on His time, and that's the perfect time, right? And it says when it's God's time, you can't stop it, because once you're at that breakthrough, like, once you're at the boom, 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 knocking the door down, like, you can't stop the blessings. Like, you're always you're walking blessed, right? But when it's time, like, it's boom, 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 back to back. And that's how I'm feeling right now, because, what I'm doing in my business, like, trying to transition, leveraging the W-2 mindset to scale the business. Like today, right? I have one deal closed today, right? That I've been waiting on, but they were supposed to close a few weeks ago, whatever happened, right? But they ended up coming, and I've been telling them, like, today I actually brought it to him, like, man, can you give me some confirmation on this one? Like, but he came through, right? And when I wanted it to happen, it didn't happen, right? Because that's not how it's supposed to happen. It did the story's lining out how it's supposed to. Even if I don't understand, I don't have to understand. But God is good always. Take it back to God. Just reflect on these things. Um, Trust in Him. Understand He's there for you. Even if you feel like you can't find Him right now, He's always there. He knows exactly where you're at. He knows exactly your life. He created you. He knew you before you in your mother's womb. He knows exactly what you're supposed to do. So if He put it in you that aligns with His will, keep pushing, keep striving. Peace.